Your products, your services. Unfortunately, most experts tend to build products and services that they love, but their marketplace really doesn't. And so they fall very, very flat. Your objective is not to build a product or service that you would necessarily buy. Your objective is to build something that your marketplace will buy and love. And attached to this actual module is an hour-long webinar that goes into the intricacies of building great products. And you'll get the productization blueprint as well. But let's shortcut it here for your homework and your consideration. Everything starts with your essence when building a product. Now, whilst I said you're not building a product that you necessarily want, but it's for your marketplace is attracted to your core inner essence. It's like this labyrinth. Inside the labyrinth is the core essence of you, and you want your clients to understand that core essence in a very subtle way through a product and service that they buy. I'll give you an example. When I first moved into the personal and professional development field, I drew on one of my core loves, which was music. And I'd played for 12 years as a professional musician, and I'd toured, and I'm lucky enough to have played on 12 or 13 albums over the time, and I'm still a very avid musician. So we even called our first company Rock Your Life, because I was a rock musician. We used musical theory in business, and we still do today, one of the only people in the world doing it. In fact, I think we're the leaders in that. And everything that we did, from our events, which utilized my music in them, to me actually playing guitar and doing some things with different artists and stuff like that over the years, was around that essence of music for me. It performs as part of my essence. And even today, it's a solid part of my essence in products and services that we put together. Even in writing a product, I like a product to have a hook. I like it to have a melody, I like it to have a tempo, I like it to have a certain volume, etc., etc. What is your essence? Maybe it's a hobby like gardening or model making. Maybe it's just an ability you have, like a phenomenal ability to communicate or to intuit things or to understand the way the world works. Maybe it's an interest you have, like history or geography or chemistry, to name some of the sciences. Or maybe it's something that you just are, like an incredible mother or an incredible father or an incredible friend or a humanitarian. Whatever it is, your product starts with that essence. And I want to give you the top 3 keys to building brilliant products. But before we get into that, just go and write down now what you believe your essence to be. And when you're doing this, remember that for many of us, including myself, it took years to find our true essence. So it may not be something that you can conquer overnight, but having a good first cut at what is your true essence that sits inside your heart, inside the labyrinth of your soul is, because when you put that out and put it into your products, it's going to create an entirely different energy in your products. So write that down now. Now that you've done that, we're going to look at number 1 in your top 3 keys, and that is your product must either make or save people money. People are very money focused. There's got to be detail. There's got to be the hardline academic stuff in any type of sale. Nobody's even going to buy a hot dog for $25 unless they can see that value in there where it's going to make them money or save them money or be the most extremely wonderful thing that they've ever had. So your product has to make or save people money. I want you to just pause again and write down how your product or service makes or saves people money. Do that now. Next, it has to create a great sense of community and heart. If you look at all of the great products of today, Facebook, sense of community there, LinkedIn, sense of community there, Apple, sense of community there, Virgin, sense of community there, and of course, the best one, the one that we like to give as an example, Harley Davidson. What a sense of community. I know many CEOs who own Harley Davidsons. I don't know many who ride them. So that's how strong the spirit of community is in the Harley community. In fact, one of my friends, Jeff, who ran the leading brokerage in insurance in New Zealand, he loves to ride his Harley, and every year he leads a toy run of Harleys from LA up to Wisconsin, somewhere where there's a big Harley gathering, and brings his clients and friends who own Harleys, and they literally do that in the US. Phenomenal. So you must create that sense of community, that sense of heart with your product and service. It's got to be more than a Facebook group that goes with it. It's got to be an ideology, a culture, a way in which you speak, a way in which people act, a fundamental spirit to your product or service. So take a moment and write down what that fundamental spirit is, the way in which you're going to build community and build heart into your product. Once you've done that, we're going to look at number 3, and this is about the technology. And we're not talking hardware or software. We simply mean the system that sits behind everything that your product is about, the A to Z that makes it work. And that can be simple as your 5 steps to, or your 8 steps to do this, or the process that you take your client through. Even if you look at a doctor, their process is initial consultation, prescribe, follow-up consultation, more prescription, refer to specialist. That's their process. So you need to decide what your process is, because people want to know your process. They want to know whether it's going to make or save them money, and they want to feel it inside their hearts. They're something, part of something incredibly special. And then the third part, the third tip that I want to give you here is to create this into some type of blueprint. Now, all of you have access, if you choose it, to our worldwide business intelligence. This is what Lundy Jack, my partner, runs, and this is the blueprint that sits behind it. There are 8 legs on the octopus, and there are 8 components here. So business strategy is number 1, conscious leadership number 2, products and services number 3, guess what we're talking about right now, people and talent number 4, smart marketing number 5, sales mastery 6, the customer journey 7, and building all of that into a system, which is number 8. And all of that is framed by cultural intelligence, commercial intelligence, creation intelligence, and of course conscious intelligence as well. And sitting in the middle there with our friendly octopus as part of its 3 hearts and also multiple brains is the fact that our octopus is a heartfelt mindset created being. So heart and mindset sit in the middle of this blueprint. And if we ever explain this blueprint to people, firstly they look at it and they go, wow, that's really cool. It's got essence of us in there. The rope that you see around there and the octopus in the middle is our Celtic and Nordic roots, which is part of our essence. If you look at the back of this slide and the dragon that sits there in Global Expert Institute, again, it's our essence sitting in there. The mythical dragon, again, our Celtic and Nordic roots are sitting in there. Plus our relationship with quantum physics. And we have other slides we're not using in this slide deck, which are in our company colors with DNA strands in them. Again, that's really about science, and it's about connection and things like that. So even in this slide, we are bringing our essence forward for you in this blueprint. You too need a blueprint that brings forward the ways of your essence. And we've helped plenty of people over the years create amazing blueprints. And then once you've got these 3 cool tips, these 3 things put together, don't just put your product out in the marketplace. Do one further thing. So that one further thing is build a focus group. A focus group of 6 or 7 people that get together for just a few hours, where you share with them your ideas on your new products and services, your ideas on your blueprints, your ideas on your target markets, core avatar, who's going to buy these, what are the price points, etc. And that focus group should be made up of different-minded people, analytical people, people who are very excitable people, people who are your existing clients, people who have never heard of you before, people who are almost in opposition to you, or people who are your peers. If you put a focus group together with different types of people and you run back through this process with them, the full process with them, you're going to get some amazing feedback, which is going to enable you to fine-tune your product and service before the marketplace. Because if you build fantastic products and fantastic services that have your essence in there, that show people how to save money or make money, how to do it on an A to Z basis and with heart, and it's been workshopped through a focus group and it has a blueprint system behind it, you are well on the way to being so far ahead of most of the experts on this planet.